right, what up, pedalheads? It's your main man, Eddie Monster here, and I'm coming with you with a concert review. That's right, last night I traveled to Worcester, Mass with some good friends, and we went and saw Kittie, who were on their Legacy of Fire tour, which is celebrating 30 years of Kittie. Fantastic. They had a couple opening bands, Gore, Kingdom of Giants, and I'm basically going to give you the run through. But before we do that, that's right, before we get into any of those reviews, please smash that subscribe button. That's right, subscribe to the channel. I try to come up with as much content as humanly possible, right? As much as I can possibly do. And I would love to do more concert reviews, stuff like that. So hopefully we'll see. All right, as I said, last night we went to go see Kittie, the Legacy of Fire tour. By the way, if you have not listened to that album fucking rips. All right, so make sure you go and check out the album Fire. Anyways, so I was pretty excited, right? I was like, I haven't seen Kittie since I think I was 17 years old. The last time I saw Kittie, and that was 27 years ago. Okay, so it's been a long time coming. It's been a long time coming for them to return to Massachusetts as well since they reunited. And it just all came down to last night. It was just absolutely amazing. The atmosphere was amazing. One of the things, though, is I got to give credit where credit's due, right? This younger generation is discovering a lot of the bands that we loved, right? And they're outnumbering us, like extremely outnumbering us. And it makes me feel fucking old as shit when I see all these young kids. And the pastel goth thing, I don't know if I understand pastel goth. Although, listen, it's not my job to judge, and to each his own, right? I don't get the pastel goth thing, but I saw some of them last night, as well as the girl with the light shoes who seems to be at every show in the Worcester area. She was there. She was rocking out. Good for her. Like I said, the crowd, very, very good atmosphere. They were into the show. Dude, we'll get into that, right? Because they were going ape shit all night. Kingdom of Giants. I wasn't really up close for Gore, which was the first band. I was kind of in the back. We had just gotten there when Gore had came on. So I didn't get to make my way to the front. But during Kingdom of Giants, they were going. Moshing, doing that punk two-step, the hardcore two-step, all sorts of things in the pit. A lot of young kids in the pit. Very cool. They had a ton of energy. They could burn it off. They're young. Who cares, right? Let them smash into each other and do whatever. And then Kittie, I mean, really went fucking ape shit during Kittie, which was fucking awesome. Not so much for me, right? Because I was started off at the back part of the fucking wall, right? Went into the pit for a brief moment to make my way to the front. So I eventually got to the front, and then I'm getting kicked in the head with shoes because there's people, constantly wanting to crowd surf. At one point, they mishandled a girl, and she was resting on my shoulder. It was fucking nuts, right? But that's fucking beautiful. It's beautiful. I haven't seen energy like that in such a long, long time, and it was beautiful. Let's get into the bands, though. So, Gore, I got to say I enjoyed them, right? They're a Texas-based band, and they were fun. Here's the thing. There's this big, anytime I see a band that has a singer that can sing and scream, I always give them the Spirit Box comparison, because it has that kind of energy to it, but they're very, very good. She's very, very good. Lead Me to the Slaughter, they had announced last night that they were debuting that, and we saw it after we left the show that debuted it online, the music video and the single. So make sure you go check that out. Lead Me to the Slaughter. But anyways, they were very good. They were probably, out of the openers, they were probably my favorite of the two openers. The other one was Kingdom of Giants. They're a metalcore band from Sacktown, California. They sounded, I mean, listen, they were bringing the heat, and they were getting those kids going, right? And the kids fucking enjoyed them, and that's what matters, right? Because when you're in a band as legendary and has been around as much as Kittie, your goal is to always bring bands that are going to bring in fans, right? New fans sometimes even. And they did a good job with that with Kingdom of Giants. Obviously, a lot of those kids loved Kingdom of Giants. I'm just not into it, right? And that's just me. They weren't my flavor, but they killed it for sure. They did a great job. I just wasn't really into the two vocalist thing. And whatever. That's just me. And then we go on to Kittie. And like I said, as soon as one band got off, you could feel like, it was constant energy for one band. Stop. It was like a break. And then the next band, energy. But I'm going to say something right here. And this shows the power of how fucking good Kittie's music really is. Okay? Because here's the difference. Morgan did not have to speak that much last night, and the crowds were going apeshit. Versus other bands, which I've noticed this a lot, are commanding you to build a wall. I want to see a wall of death. I want to see a circle pit. I want to see this. I want to see that. Let your music do the fucking talking when it comes to that. And Kittie did that. That's the power of Kittie's music, is that everybody would fucking ape shit and didn't have to be told when to do so. Not to mention, Kittie did a fantastic job of blending one song into another. They went nonstop. And they were, like, each song, they just were going, and it flowed so well, right? So I was very impressed. Kittie, I know I'm going to get a lot of shit from people for this, but Kittie has probably been the best show so far of 2026 for me, is Kittie. Legendary, playing songs like Cutthroat, Oracle, Spit, Pain, What I've Always Wanted, Suck. Even dedicating Charlotte to us longtime fucking Kittie fans. Awesome. And then they ended the show, the encore with Brackish and Eyes Wide Open. Such an amazing, amazing time. Mercedes was amazing on drums, of course. Morgan, guitar, vocals, doing the thing. And I'm going to say something about Morgan in a second. But let me go through. Tara, amazing job. And then the new bassist, Rachel Gonzalez, who's been filling in, I think, for 2026. She even did a fucking amazing job last night. So credit to all of them. The thing I wanted to say about Morgan, and I'm not leaving anybody out of this, but if it wasn't for Morgan, okay, if it wasn't for OTEP, and if it wasn't for Arch Enemy, they are the pioneers of saying, hey, just because you're a woman doesn't always mean you have to have this amazing, beautiful voice 24/7. Okay? They proved that metal is not an all-boys club. That's the credit that those women deserve in this world, is that they set the pace for everybody else. Without Morgan, without OTEP, without Arch Enemy, whether it be Angela, whether it be Alyssa, whoever, right, has been at the helm of Arch Enemy, they are the pioneers to say, dude, if you can growl and you can scream into a mic, fuck that. Why should the boys be the only ones who are able to do that? No way. Fuck that. And that is the power of that. And I want to thank every single one of them for being the pioneers. I'm saying that right now. And that has been my thought for a while, because without them, there is no Spirit Box. Okay, without them, there is not a lot of these bands that you're seeing nowadays. And that's all. So, like I said, it was an amazing, amazing show. If you missed it because you were on the fence, shame on you. You should have gone. It was a fucking great time. I had a lot of fun. And that's it. I'm going to give that show an A+ for a final grade. I can't wait to see Kittie when they make it back to Massachusetts, and hopefully they come back to Massachusetts or even Rhode Island. I don't care. I'll go to Rhode Island to see Kittie. But anyways, that has been Pedal TV.